Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As always, my name is, of course, Light Liger, and today I have the great pleasure of showcasing you some upcoming crypto-based games on Solana's blockchain. But let's get started without further ado. So the first game we have here is probably the most anticipated on the whole chain, and that is Star Atlas, which I've talked about many times on the channel. I was one of the people who participated on the very initial sale that they had, and this is going to be a very big sci-fi MMORPG. They have recently also released the trailer, which was not out when we last talked about this project. And there is going to be such a deep economy inside the game. Like, you're going to be able to own spaceships. You are going to be able to own mining drills, also land assets, which can be also attacked. And there is so much different forms of depth inside this game. And this smart preview, which we're going to be talking about in this video, will not do the justice. There's also 3 different factions here: the cyborgs, the humans, and I think they was called the aliens or something. The Oni region. And it's a very, very ambitious project, and it's probably going to be taking quite some time until we get any of those features out. But I definitely recommend taking a look into the spaceships and things like that. And their tokens and NFTs are already out, or at least some of them. So you can get invested before the game's out, because I think this is going to be definitely the next Star Citizen, or the next big sci-fi game that people are going to be definitely aping into. So Star Atlas is definitely one of the most hyped games, in my opinion, but also by the actual Solana community. Moving on, we have another very hyped game, and that is Aurora. And this is something I did talk about on my previous top 10 upcoming blockchain games video. And this is going to be an RPG game that has kind of like a Pokemon vibes to it, but also JRPG vibes to it. We have seen a couple of tech demos so far. And there was the initial sale, which I was very lucky to get one of the NFTs. And here you can see like a 2D side-scroller element, then there's a 3D element, and then there's this sort of like a Pokemon interface here. And then they actually have another type of battler interface that they have showcased. And it's a very cool project, in my opinion. I'm very bullish on this. And it's still not too late to get invested. The actual holders of the NFTs will be getting a bunch of airdrops before the release is going to be happening. And they did already one, and this is definitely going to be more of an artistic also in terms of its look and everything. And, I think it will appeal a lot to like Axie Infinity types of audience. And I think that this generally will do very, very well on the blockchain base. But let's move on. Then we have a project known as Soul Chicks, and this, they already had their NFT release. Probably going to be buying myself from the second-hand market after I saw something that they are working on. They have done a lot of good promotion as well, a lot of collabs and stuff like that I've seen on Twitter. And they have a game coming out which has a PvP mode and PvE mode, apparently, and it's kind of interesting looking. I don't know what to think out of it, because graphically it's a very weird looking, and I don't mean that as like a negative thing. It just like feels like there's a difference of the art styles like combined together, and it has this kind of like an odd, artistic, style to it. And this could be a pretty interesting project as well in terms of gaming. Here are some, there are 2D assets, and you're going to be getting 3D models, post-launch. And for example, this 2D one looks here in 3D. So this is something that I've very much been liking about a lot of these NFT projects as of late, that they've been doing the 3D versions of their 2D assets, which are like metaverse ready. And here is some higher resolution gameplay and look. How does the actual gameplay look like in a non-cinematic way? So just kind of like a isometric type of a view, and it seems to be also having a bit of like a third-person view at point, but I guess this is the main one. And you know, this is in the making, and you can still get invested. And there's also a lot of partners involved with the whole project, so that's pretty interesting, and a lot of, you know, open profiles, you know, for people who are working on the game. So another one to definitely look into. And then we have another Pokemon style based game, and that is Geno Pets. And they don't have the sales or anything happened yet, so they're in a very, very early phase right now. And we don't have also much going on in terms of what they are building. A lot of big fashion partners here, allegedly. This looks very photoshopped. I don't know if this is how real that is. But here's some background gameplay, which is kind of like going for this sort of a Pokemon thing. Bunch of music has also been broadcasted. And here's another page where you can see a bit about what they're building. And, you know, I'm also bullish on this. I think there can be many Pokemon-style games, all of them doing well. But let's move on. So then we have Kaiju Cards, and this is going to be a card game. And we obviously don't have any other card games on Solana yet. They had 2 sales, which happened, pre-sales. And it's a very, very nice art, which has been inspired by mostly Japanese folklore and JRPGs. And this is, I think there was like a very, very big developer team behind it, as in, I think they had worked at Disney and like some other major companies. Let me see. Yeah, so they have worked at Disney, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, Netflix, Apple, Facebook. So that's kind of huge, how much people are involved in here. I mean, how talented people are here. And you can definitely see it on the art. It's very killer. I really dig it. And sadly, I didn't get any of these NFTs on the 2 sales. They were so popular. But they are acquirable in the secondary markets right now at a very affordable price. So the floor has sunken quite a lot. So now is a good entry point for get into Kaiju before the game launches. Next up, we have Chainman, which is going to be a MOBA game, combination of FPS and MOBA. Sounds pretty ambitious. And this is going to be, you know, 3D-based game. There's a bit of like a teaser launch here. Okay, this is not actually working. And I think they have gone, it will look a bit different initially. So they have changed the art style here. Last time I was visiting the website, but the art that they have done so far, this looks very impressive, and it seems that there's a lot of influence from Southeast Asian and South Asian folklore, so very Indian, you know, focused team here. And, you know, there's a lot of promise for this one. MOBAs are very hard market to tap into, so, you know, especially when you're crypto, you need to have like good matchmaking, so you need a lot of players. And here's kind of like a breakdown of the myth token and how does it exactly work. Deposit NFT as a collateral, so in case you lose a game, you could lose the NFT. All these types of things. So this is a pretty interesting project as well. Moving on, we have Cryor, and this is going to be a next-gen blockchain multiplayer game on mobile devices. Not a big mobile guy, but then again, there's always emulators, and maybe they will do a desktop version. This is going to be like a PvP styled game. The art on it is actually pretty nice, and it's done with Unreal Engine. Not always the one that they use on mobile games, but here's some, you know, shots of the actual NFTs, and there's like a different skins. And here's another one, a female one. These are pretty impressive looking, has a bit of Warhammer vibes, I like that. And this could be doing also really, really well. Also Doc's team, so that's a pretty nice thing. And definitely another one to look into. I think they have just right now some type of a promotion going on. Probably I'll leave that in the links if I find it. But definitely another exciting game on Solana's blockchain. Moving on, we have Cyborg, which is a form of space football or something. And this is going to be a play-to-earn game. And there's different types of avatars that you can basically get. And skills and classes and traits which make them different. So tackling, passing, dribbling, crossing, shooting, and physical. And we don't really have any like gameplay or so also is this like a football manager type of a game where you set up your team comp and then it's all random what happens basically. Or is this something more of an interactive game where you're actually moving your characters and they shoot the ball? So that remains to be seen. But there's some data about this project already. It's also going to be launching on Binance Smart Chain at the same time. There is going to be their own NFT marketplace. You can also loan stuff. So this is another kind of like an interesting project. And interability is always good. And next we have an RPG game called Project Seed, which is just having a token sale, like literally in the minutes as I'm recording this video, I bought some. And people are going to be able to pick characters, and there's going to be partners also with these types of creatures and different weapons. There's also a trailer which goes into
many people are wondering, could this be the
demo.
right time to invest? As eToro traders have shown,
so this looks actually pretty nice.
Experience new game has
opportunities for investors.
Illustrated graphics,
honestly, I believe it's
so it seems like a bit of a
first multi-chain
style of a
explode.
Apparently you can collect NFTs inside the game or
Discover.
It is possible
Meet other heroes from
by taking advantage of eToro's
where fantasy meets reality.
Probably has the latest market trends and movements. In addition, eToro's social trading features allow investors to consult and share strategies with millions of other traders from around the world. Join the conversation today on eToro, the world's leading social trading network.
Game, and this is taking place in the old Japanese periods, probably Sengoku.
Let me tell you a tale.
And it's going to be an RPG. And it's going to be inspired by Path of Exile and Diablo. And there's going to be like, you know, swords inside the game. There's going to be characters inside the game. They also have a bit of a tech demo here, which goes into showcasing the characters and the classes. So it works like an RPG. And, you know, the graphics are not half bad for a blockchain-based game, and the FPS actually looks pretty decent, this being also a YouTube upload.
You may or may not believe
always reduces the FPS. And this could be another promising game. I don't know like how far they are in development, how exactly this is going to be working and all that. RPGs are not something you're just going to be doing in 2 weeks. It requires a lot of things. And a lot of content as well, like how is the game going to be lasting, and what is the end-game content. And here we see a bit of the combat system, and you have multiple different abilities. I guess it's rare per class, and you can kill mobs here and boars, some good old World of Warcraft simulation here. And I guess you can get like NFT drops from them or tokens, which you can later then sell on the market. So a lot of interesting stuff overall happening on Solana's blockchain. As always, I recommend subscribing to the channels to stay tuned with the hottest and the latest NFT projects, games, DeFi, airdrops, and all types of other content that I produce on the channel. As always, if you want to show some appreciation,
hello mga kasado, welcome back
tips
sa aking channel. My name is
NFTs.
At sa video na ito, meron tayong isang game na re-reviewin. Tara, samahan niyo ako.
But also, in case you're running already or running any type of a project in the blockchain and looking for promotion opportunities, you can always drop me an email at lightliger@protonel.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.